The hidden lie that makes perfectionists quit. You keep quitting when it's not perfect yet, right when momentum starts. That's not laziness, it's a safety move. The hidden lie your brain whispers is, if it isn't perfect, it isn't safe. Safe from criticism, safe from looking foolish, safe from shame. Today, I'll reframe perfectionism as shame avoidance and give you a 4-step fix so you can ship faster without torching your standards. Watch for the safety myth, the 70% rule, and the repair ritual. Those 3 shift everything. Let's unpack why your brain keeps picking perfect or nothing, and how to choose progress with protection you can trust. Problem: the perfectionism shame loop. Perfectionism looks like high standards, but the engine under the hood is shame avoidance. Here's the loop. You set sky-high standards, you delay to get it right. Delay turns into avoidance, avoidance triggers shame, and that shame convinces you your only way out is to raise the standards even higher. Round and round. It feels logical. If the stakes feel brutal, make the work flawless, but it backfires. The more you chase flawless, the less you ship, and the less feedback you get to actually improve. Why the usual advice? Just lower your standards. Doesn't land, it skips the shame triggers. Your standards aren't random, they're your armor against social judgment. Someone once rolled their eyes, a teacher circled your paper in red, a boss said this needs more polish, and your brain learned, if it's perfect, I don't get hurt. So when people say, just let it be messy, your nervous system hears walk out without a shield. Of course you resist. Perfectionism is a control strategy. If you control every variable, no one can catch you off guard. You rehearse replies before sending the email. You research for days before starting the draft. You tweak a thumbnail 50 times so no comment can say lazy. The goal isn't excellence, it's no vulnerability. And that's the trap. Control doesn't eliminate risk. It delays exposure until you're more attached, more exhausted, and ironically, more fragile. Let me give you a quick story. A student of mine spent 4 extra weeks delaying a launch. The sales page was nearly there, the onboarding email needed a stronger hook, and she should probably add 2 more lessons before announcing. Underneath, she was dodging feedback. Announcing made it real. Real meant reviews. Reviews might mean not good enough. So she kept polishing. When she finally launched, the product was solid, but she'd lost the early momentum from warm leads, and she was too drained to iterate quickly. What stung most wasn't the muted sales. It was how the delay fed the narrative that she wasn't ready. That's the loop tightening. The costs stack up fast. Lost momentum. Momentum is a trust fund you build with small deposits. Delay bleeds it out. Identity fragility. If your worth hinges on flawless work, any flaw becomes an identity threat, not a fixable issue. Career stall. You can't compound if you don't ship. No shipping means no data, no relationships, no referrals, no practice. Now here's where most people mess up. They fight the loop at the do more level, longer hours, more research, one last pass. But the loop is emotional, not informational. More knowledge doesn't quiet shame. Safer conditions do. If your brain believes the only safety is perfect, any good enough choice feels like self-betrayal. So you either freeze or overwork. Both end in the same place. No publish, no progress, more shame. Let me back up and name the pattern in your body. You set a big standard. Your nervous system scans for danger. What if they think I'm average? Heart rate ticks up. You pull back to add just one more improvement. The relief is instant. That relief rewards delay. Your brain learns avoidance equals relief. So next time, it pushes you to wait even longer. That's why perfectionism is sticky. It's not an idea problem, it's a relief habit. The thing most people miss is how shame narrows your options. Instead of asking, what gets the outcome? You start asking, what keeps me safe? That flips every decision. You don't pick the shortest path, you pick the least exposing path. You choose anonymous research over public drafts. You choose private tinkering over small batch tests. You choose silence over, here's my WIP. And silence feels safe until you realize it's also starving you of the inputs that would actually make the work better. I've also seen the loop hit identity. When the standard is flawless, your identity becomes the person who never slips. You avoid challenges you can't dominate, which means you avoid growth. You become a curator of highlight reels instead of a builder of version histories. It looks impressive from the outside, but inside you're constantly bracing. That bracing leaks into everything: sleep, relationships, creative energy. So what's the lie your brain keeps telling you? It's simple and seductive. If it isn't perfect, it isn't safe. If it's not airtight, they'll see you. If they see you, they'll judge you. If they judge you, you'll feel shame you can't repair. That last part is the kicker. You don't trust your repair capacity. You think the only way to avoid pain is to avoid exposure, which means you never build the skill that actually creates safety, the ability to ship, get notes, and repair without collapsing. Once you see the loop, you can break it, but not with willpower sprints or pep talks. You break it by changing what safety means in your system. Safety can't live in "no one will find a flaw." It has to live in "when they find a flaw, I know how to respond." That's the pivot that frees you from perfect or nothing and puts you onto progress with repair. The hidden lie: perfection equals safety. Here's the belief running the show: if your work is flawless, you won't feel shame. No rejection. No "who do you think you are?" No status drop. Your brain pitches perfection as the safest route, like airtight armor that keeps judgment out. That promise feels true because delaying does give you a hit of relief. But safety built on silence is a false wall. No feedback means no adaptation, and no adaptation slowly erodes trust in yourself and from others. The thing most people miss is that perfection hides, while progress exposes and strengthens. Hiding looks safe because nobody can tag you if they can't see you. But you also can't build the muscles that handle pressure. Progress, even imperfect, is exposure practice. Each small, visible step says, "I can be seen and keep going." That's what actually raises your safety ceiling. Let me show you the distortion set that props up the lie. First, catastrophizing. A typo becomes "they'll think I'm incompetent." Your brain jumps from a small error to a career-ending story. Second, mind reading. You assume what they will think and you assign the harshest judge in your head to every audience. Third, all or nothing identity. If the deliverable isn't exceptional, then you're average, and if you're average, you're unworthy. That's not quality control, that's identity control. Quick distortions, check you can save. Catastrophizing, this flaw equals career ending. Counter, what's the most likely outcome? What's my repair step? Mind reading, they'll think X. Counter, what data do I have? Ask 2 people at 30%. All or nothing, if not great, it's garbage. Counter, it's V1, greatness is built over reps. Emotional reasoning, I feel unsafe, so it is unsafe. Counter, safety equals repair plan on the calendar. Personalization, one note equals I'm the problem. Counter, notes are about the work, triage by impact. Now, why is the lie false in practice? Because silence isn't neutral. It looks like safety, but it quietly costs you opportunity, accuracy, and trust. Opportunity, people can't help or hire what they can't see. Accuracy, your guesses about what's good go untested, so your map drifts from reality. Trust, reliability grows when you show up and adjust in public. Trying to avoid any flaw breaks all 3. The reason this clicked for me was watching creators who shipped early drafts build credibility faster than those polishing in secret. Their work wasn't cleaner, their repair loop was visible. They'd say, "Thanks for the note, fix pushed, and move." Every repair rep said, "I'm safe because I can respond." That's real safety. Not never messing up, knowing what to do after. Before we continue, you need to understand the nervous system angle. Avoidance lowers anxiety today, which teaches your brain that hiding equals relief. But relief without learning reinforces threat sensitivity. You feel more fragile over time, not less. Controlled exposure, small, planned visibility with guardrails does the opposite. It lifts anxiety a notch, gives you a win, then drops it. Repeat that, and your baseline fear shrinks. Here's the shortcut nobody teaches. Safety through repair beats safety through perfect. If you remember nothing else from this part, remember this swap. Perfect tries to remove every future risk in advance, which is impossible and exhausting. Repair assumes some risk will land, then builds a playbook to catch and correct. One path makes you brittle, the other makes you anti-fragile. Let me make it concrete. 2 managers ship a team memo. Manager A spends 6 hours polishing to avoid pushback. Manager B spends 2 hours drafting, adds a line, reply with 1 if clear, 2 if unclear, will fix by 3 p.m. Manager B gets quick signals, patches at 2:30, logs the change, and everyone sees responsiveness. Who's safer next time? The one with proof they can repair in the open. Now here, S where most people mess up. They think show your work means drop your bar. It doesn't. We're not trading excellence for speed. We're trading invisible anxiety for visible iteration. You still define non-negotiables. You just stop trying to pre-solve imaginary critics and let reality give you the right problems to solve. A quick exercise you can try today: write down one belief your critic uses to sell perfect as safety. Something like, "If this has a flaw, they'll never trust me again." Now answer with a repair statement. "If there's a flaw, I'll acknowledge it, fix it within 48 hours, and share the change." Speak it out loud. Your body needs to hear a path that doesn't end in doom. The payoff is practical and emotional. Practically, you learn faster because you're in contact with the environment. Emotionally, your shame sensitivity drops because you keep proving you can recover. You stop negotiating with imagined audiences and start negotiating with facts. If safety's the goal, here's the better path. Stop trying to feel safe by eliminating all exposure. Build safety by planning for exposure and practicing repair. That shift unlocks momentum without blowing up your standards. And it's exactly what the Progress Plus repair system will help you do next. Better method overview: Progress Plus repair system. Here's the better model in one line: ship earlier, learn faster, repair confidently. Instead of trying to pre-solve every possible criticism, we design a system that makes small exposure safe and fixes expected. You'll still care about quality, but we're moving the safety from "no flaws exist" to "I know what to do when they show up." This system rests on 4 pillars. Pillar 1 is the 70% rule. You ship when the core outcome is met, even if the polish isn't finished. Because 70% now beats percent perfect later, and momentum compounds. You'll define the non-negotiables, the parts that must work, then defer the nice-to-haves to a scheduled repair window. Pillar 2 is scope collapse. Shrink the deliverable without losing the outcome. That might mean a 3-slide update instead of a 20-page deck, a 5-minute demo instead of a full webinar, or a single chapter draft instead of the whole ebook. The win is less decision friction and fewer places for shame to hide. You're lowering exposure per unit of progress while protecting standards where they matter. Pillar 3 is feedback floors. You'll set minimum checkpoints for reality to talk back at 30, 70, and 90%. Not with a crowd, but with a minimum viable audience who will answer focused questions. At 30%, you're asking, "Am I solving the right problem?" At 70, "What's missing for clarity?" At 90, "Any showstoppers before ship?" Early notes convert imagined shame into solvable edits. Pillar 4 is the repair ritual. This is the safety engine. You pre-schedule a 24-72-hour repair window right after shipping. The protocol is simple: triage, patch, reflect. Triage, prioritize issues by impact. Patch, fix the top items fast and communicate the change. Reflect, capture what caused the issue and adjust your checklist. Think public changelog energy, even if public is just your team. Why does this work? Controlled exposure grows your shame tolerance. When you ship in smaller, planned increments and then repair on purpose, your brain learns, "I can be seen and survive." Anxiety spikes a bit, then drops after you handle it. Repeat that loop and your system recalibrates. The stakes stop feeling life or death, and you stop overinvesting in polish that no longer buys safety. Here's the shortcut that makes it stick: pre-commit to repair before you ship. Put it on the calendar. That one move lowers pre-ship anxiety because you're not gambling, you've already budgeted for fixes. You don't have to nail every corner, you just have to meet the outcome and follow the repair plan you promised yourself. Let me give you a quick win for this week. Pick one active project. Define its 70% version in one sentence. For this to count, it must X next, collapse the scope to a one-sitting deliverable, the slice you can build in 90 minutes or less. Then, pick 2 people for a 30% check and write 2 questions you'll ask them. Finally, block a 2-hour repair window the day after you ship. That's the whole system, lightweight. Now you might be thinking, won't this lower my bar? No, excellence comes from iteration, not endless isolation. The non-negotiables keep the bar where it counts. The system removes the guesswork and shame tax that slow you down. If anything, your standards get sharper because reality is editing with you. This next part separates beginners from pros. Pros don't trust pre-flight perfection. They trust their ability to land and service the plane. The Progress Plus repair system gives you that operational confidence. And once you nail it on one project, you can scale it across your workflow without burning out. Let's build each pillar so it sticks. Pillar 1, the 70% rule. The reason the 70% rule matters is simple. 70% quality beats percent perfect, and momentum compounds. When you wait for 100%, you trade weeks for marginal gains that most people won't notice, while you lose the only advantage that actually changes your trajectory: iterations in the real world. The longer you hold, the heavier the launch becomes. Release at 70%, and you buy two things perfection can't: learning speed and identity safety through proof you can ship and repair. Here, what the 70% rule is. Ship when the core outcome is met, even if the edges are rough. That doesn't mean be sloppy. It means define the non-negotiables up front and hit those, then deliberately defer polish to a scheduled repair window. Non-negotiables are the essentials that deliver the promise. Nice-to-haves are the flourishes that delight but aren't necessary for the outcome. If the promise is clarity, then structure and accurate content are non-negotiables. Animated graphics and witty transitions are nice-to-haves. Let me show you exactly how to apply it. Start by writing a 2-column list for your task. Left column, non-negotiables; right column, nice-to-haves. Keep each non-negotiable measurable. For a blog post, non-negotiables might be clear thesis, 3 supporting sections, 1 example per section, correct citations. Nice-to-haves: custom illustrations, advanced SEO polish, extra anecdotes. Then set a hard ship date. Build only the left column until you meet the core outcome. If time remains, pull 1 or 2 items from the right. If not, ship as planned and use your repair window to add polish based on actual feedback. An example to anchor it: you're publishing an article. You define the outcome as help readers execute a 3-step morning planning routine. Non-negotiables: accurate steps, clean structure, 1 worksheet link that works. Nice-to-haves: a story opener, a custom header image, a bonus tip section. You get the structure tight, confirm the steps are correct, and link a basic Google Doc worksheet. You skip the custom graphics for now, you ship. In your 48-hour repair block, you add the story intro and swap the basic worksheet for a branded PDF based on reader questions. The value landed on day 1, the polish followed without derailing momentum. Now here's where most people mess up: vague checklists and slippery deadlines. Make it good isn't a non-negotiable. Readers can finish this routine in under 10 minutes and ship this week isn't a deadline. Ship Thursday by 3 p.m. is. Vague scopes invite scope creep. When you're tired, your brain will just add 1 more improvement, and suddenly you're back in the loop. Lock the criteria, lock the clock, and make the repair window the place for extras. Another mistake is secret extensions. You blow past the deadline, but only you know. That teaches your brain there's no consequence for moving the goalposts. Fix it by externalizing the ship, tell a peer, put it on a shared calendar, or schedule the publish. If you miss, don't push the whole project. Shrink the slice and still ship something that meets the core outcome. Keep the cadence sacred. The thing most people miss is that 70% now changes the kind of feedback you get. When you're stuck in pre-ship polish, your questions are hypothetical. Will they like this? After shipping, your questions are concrete. Which part confused them? That switch lets you spend effort where it matters. You're not guessing, you're targeting. Let me give you a quick micro story. A creator I coached spent 2 weeks perfecting B-roll and color grading on a tutorial. We defined her 70%, accurate steps, on-screen captions, clear audio. She shipped in 4 days. The top comment? Could you include the keyboard shortcuts? Not a single person mentioned color grading. She added a shortcut overlay during her 48-hour repair window and saw watch time jump. That's 70% in action. Progress first, polish second, results improve. If you're thinking, but my field has high standards, good. The 70% rule respects that by protecting the essentials and scheduling the polish. Excellence isn't about never shipping rough edges. It's about sequencing the right work at the right time. You'll be judged more on clarity, correctness, and responsiveness than on whether your corners are perfectly rounded on day 1. Here's your quick application checklist. Define the promise in 1 sentence. List non-negotiables that deliver that promise. List nice-to-haves that enhance it. Set a hard ship date and a 24-72-hour repair window. Build to the non-negotiables, then ship, then polish. If you remember nothing else, 70%, now 100% never. This is the pivot that gets you out of hiding and into compounding gains. Now that you can hit the outcome sooner, we'll shrink the target so you can move today.